This is a Midori, Nakayama Midori stone, pretty hard stone. Just using a nice soft Japanese for Nagura for a little bit of slurry. I'm not really making a cutting slurry on this. It's just enough to keep it going. Now this we're going to do a little bit different because we're in the finishing. I'm going to drop it down. 3, 4, 5, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do 7 to 1s, you can do 10 to 1s, like I was saying. You can vary this a little bit. You have to watch these because they will get sticky fast. It's a very, very high grit stone. It really is as simple as I'm making it look. The only thing you have to learn is how much pressure to apply. And like I said, it's heavier than a Western style razor, but you're not really applying a ton of pressure. Again, the edge on these is so sharp. Okay, this edge really is coming together really fast. I almost wish it wasn't so I could show you a little bit more honing. But we're going to finish it off now. Now, one thing about some of these Nakayamas, some of the harder stones are a little bit harder to hone with also, because you don't rinse the stone. That slurry will, it's called friable, I think is the way it's actually pronounced. The slurry on these, you want to break it down, and then on this particular stone, to get the most out of it, you actually let it dry. You're honing almost on powder. So we're going to get really, really light this time. Now you notice I switched to 3 to 1. And again, that switch, that's totally up to you. With my stones and my stroke, it works better that way. Moving the slurry up into the stone there is what I'm doing. Again, most of your honing action, you're going to be looking at the stamp. The stamp on the razor, you're going to be looking at it. You're honing on the front of the blade, looking at the back of the blade, according to everything I've read. It makes no sense to me either, but that's what it says. Again, notice I'm not diluting that out. I'm just leaving it. Your Japanese stones are going to give me a really nice little haze. You'll see a bright. It's a bright bevel, but it's not like if I was using like a Schaffner or Niwa. Don't do that. It's kind of a habit, you know. I'm always diluting out, but on this one you don't want to. Now, certain Japanese stones you don't dilute them out. You want the slurry to go to dry, or almost dry. It's more like mud. Really super fine edge on this. Some people use a 3 to 2 on this also. In other words, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It's a bad habit from owning too many Western razors. You're always diluting. Trying to remember not to dilute. Yeah, there's a really good haze on that edge now. The slurry's starting to dry out. I'm getting really, really light now on the honing action. Okay. This edge is just about done. Comparatively speaking, the edge is so sharp. Now, what we're going to do is a few X strokes, really super light here on the almost dry slurry. I'm going 3-to-1 still. If you notice, when I switch it to the stamp side down, it's always a backstroke. Never doing an actual edge first stroke. It's always a stropping action, spine first, see? Okie dokie. I know you probably don't believe that that's as simple as it gets, but the edge is so scary sharp right now, it's not even funny. That really is as simple as it gets. Knocking on Midori started off with caudicle. Like I said, you can use any stone that's in the 8K range. Obviously, naturals don't have an actual grit rating, but anything in a something that will cut but not cut deep. You do not ever want to cut a Japanese razor deep unless you're doing restoration. You never want to use a deep cutting stone on them. They're really just a real gentle honing action will bring the best out of these edges. One thing I should show you, on stropping a Japanese razor, it is no different. You're still gonna strop same way. SRD Premium one, exact same way of stropping. The only real difference is you want to be kind of careful while you're stropping to really get super light on it, because you will catch the little corners on these Japanese razors. You will catch them on your strop, especially when you switch over to the leather. You really want to be careful to keep it exactly straight, otherwise you'll put little tiny cuts along your strop edge. Also, if you guys notice, proper terminology for stropping is taut, not tight. Notice I'm not yanking it back, I'm not pulling back on it. There's just a little bit of give in it. Anyway, same stropping, just get really super light on it so you're not scratching up your strop. Alright, and that's how to actually hone a Kamisori style Japanese razor. Again, you want the edge. When you use the edge, as you're coming down, you want to apply pressure to the front edge. When you flip it this way, you want to apply pressure right along that bead there and just drag it down. You can, if you're not careful, you put a little tiny burr on there, but it'll come right off. Once again, gssixgun from SRP, how to hone a Kamisori. And I'm really sorry, but that's really as easy as it gets. It is that easy. You can, of course, do the 10-to-1, 7-to-1, 5-to-1, 3-to-1 change up. You can go 7-to-1, you can go 5-to-1, you can go 3-to-1. Kind of depends on the razor. Some of the Tasuki, I think is the way it's pronounced, one with the blue handles, 7-to-1 all day long. If you do anything with 7-to-1, they don't like it. Some of them, like the Iwasaki's, are a little bit more variable. You can play with them a little bit more and get edges. One thing, it has to be sharp. There is no sort of sharp with the Kamisoris. It has to be sharp. You never want to be pressing when you shave with these. It's a super light touch. It should just pop those hairs right off your face. Once again, GS6gun SRP. I hope that showed you a little bit. Good night.